And now the moment you've all been waiting for. Now presenting the epilogue to the episode of Caillou buys an illegal DirecTV cable box. Arrested, grounded.
Whopper, 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 Junior, Double, Triple, Whopper, Flame Grill taste with perfect toppers. I rule this day. Lettuce, mayo, pickle, ketchup, it's okay if I don't want that Impossible or bacon Whopper, any Whopper my way. You rule your season today at BK. Have it your way. You rule.
Welcome back to GNN News at 5 o'clock. I'm Mandy Harris. We have a developing story at this moment. A 4-year-old boy by the name of Caillou Anderson got arrested and sent to the Go Animate juvenile detention facility after buying a pirated, second-hand cable box off of eBay. The little boy ended up watching cable channels, including the ones for premium subscribers, for about 2 weeks until the FBI and the Go Animate Police Department tracked him down and apprehended him at his house. For more information on this story, we go to Tatiana Johnson at the house where Caillou got confronted by law enforcement.
I can hear you loud and clear. I did have a chance to talk earlier with a police officer about the status of Caillou's incarceration. He told us that Caillou's prison sentence will be determined on his court date in about 3 months from now. According to the Go Animate Police Department, they also told us that Caillou got the cable box from an unknown person who sold the cable box to him on e-commerce website eBay and had the cable box shipped to him from Florida. The officer I spoke to also said that Caillou's parents might have to pay thousands of dollars in fines for violating copyright laws after he managed to obtain unrestricted premium access to channels for free. Now here are the parents of Caillou, Boris and Doris Anderson, who's going to tell us their viewpoint on the story. So did you two realize that your son purchased a DirecTV cable box off of eBay? When did you find out that he did?
Well, me and Doris were pretty oblivious that Caillou bought himself a cable box off of eBay, until the police and FBI raided our house and seized Caillou's cable box and took him into custody. We should have put parental controls on his gaming PC so that he doesn't buy any more random stuff without our permission and until he learns to shop responsibly. We also regret giving him a $50 Visa gift card as a birthday present that he used to purchase the illegal DirecTV cable box.
Do you know why your son would buy a DirecTV box off of a third-party website rather than buy from DirecTV?
Well, ever since we unsubscribed to Cox Cable a few years back due to financial constraints, he did not like the local channels offered on Antenna, nor the streaming apps that we instead subscribed to. So he decided to take matters into his own hands by buying one off of eBay without realizing that it's illegal.
Will Caillou face additional punishments once he's released from jail?
Yes. We will ground him for an additional 3 weeks once he gets out of juvie.
Okay, Boris and Doris, thank you for your time.
No problem. Thanks for having us.
In summary, Caillou will be held at the Go Animate Juvenile Detention Facility until further notice for the crime of piracy by obtaining a cable box without a valid subscription, and he will also face 3 weeks of being grounded upon his release. Caillou's parents might have to pay substantial fines as a result of copyright infringement penalties per federal law and will have to be present at Caillou's court hearing at an upcoming date. Back to you, Andy.
Thanks, Tatiana. This incident is now currently under investigation with the FBI, Go Animate Police Department, and the FCC on how the anonymous seller who sold the cable box managed to put the item up on eBay's inventory. The FCC is now urging retail sites like eBay, Amazon, and Etsy to ban the selling of second-hand cable receivers on their platforms. We're now going to show you the cell phone footage of the man in Florida convicted of selling the illegal cable box being taken into custody.
Leave me the
Stop
alone,
resisting.
you
You're only gonna
pigs.
make it worse.
I thought I was doing someone a favor by offering free cable. I didn't even know selling that was illegal.
As you can see, He was definitely not happy being apprehended and went on ranting to the police about his arrest. We're now going to interview the man's wife who wishes to remain anonymous to protect herself against potential public retaliation. So first of all, can you tell me, what motivated your husband to sell the cable box on eBay?
So we were just clearing out our junk from the attic when we found our old DirecTV cable box from 2011 just sitting there gathering dust. We already upgraded to a new DirecTV cable box, I think around 2017, and left the old one as backup until we simply forgot about it. After recovering the box, we then did some cleaning and restoration fixes and managed to make the cable box working as good as new. We didn't know what to do with it and eventually made the ignorant mistake of selling it on eBay instead of rightfully returning it to a DirecTV dealership. We decided to sell it at a discounted price of $20 because we were feeling pretty generous and figured that someone who misses watching commercial breaks in between shows in this new era of streaming would like to buy this.
Okay, did you even realize that your customer whom you sold the cable box to was in fact a 4-year-old boy?
Well, we didn't even realize that the person whom we were selling this to was in fact 4 years old, as eBay only displayed the customer's username and his place of residence when they gave us the shipping information. I'm pretty sure that the 4-year-old managed to set up an eBay account by himself and even lied about his age when filling out the account details.
Did you even realize your mistake, or was it already too late?
Yeah, we thought it was a legal sale until the police came knocking on our door saying that my husband had a warrant out for his arrest for fraud and engaging in copyright infringement. He has an upcoming court date in about 2 months from now at the federal courthouse in Fort Lauderdale, where his sentence will be decided and if he'll be proven guilty or innocent for the crime, so we'll have to see how that turns out.
And finally, do you have any piece of advice to children or parents listening to us out there about wanting to set up an eBay account to buy illegal stuff, like a pre-owned cable box?
Yes, I'd say to kids out there to be careful what you're buying and to spend your money wisely, and to parents out there, be sure to monitor your children's search history and be aware of any accounts that they signed up for. Also, tell your kids to ask for your permission if they want to buy something online. I also want to add to everyone thinking of selling their used cable boxes on eBay that I highly advise against doing this as it is illegal and you could risk being imprisoned for it, just like what happened to my husband. If you want to get rid of your old cable box, please do the right thing by returning it to the dealer. Therefore, you will avoid having to do time for a huge chunk of your life.
Great advice there. All right, I appreciate your time telling us all this. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Andy.
We'll be right back after this 60-second message.
And a little bit of chicken fried. Cold beer on a Friday night. A pair of jeans that fit just right. And the radio.
Get 5 boneless wings for $1 with any handcrafted burger. Only at Applebee's.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing the strength of this King Henry, but getting that King Henry.
Huzzah! Salutations! I'm here to lead the team. No, I don't want it! No! Sorcery! Behold my majestic strides!
You okay?
No, I am not.
So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's right. Move it like this now. You gotta move that.
It's big time, only on Royal Caribbean.
Welcome back to GNN News at 5 o'clock. I've just received a statement from John Winkelried, the CEO of TPG, Incorporated, which owns DirecTV, saying that anyone who sells our cable boxes on third-party selling websites, especially at cheap and discounted prices, will be met with the full-blown, powerful and brutal force of law enforcement, and will have the book thrown really hard at them on their court date. End of quote. He also went on to say that DirecTV will fully cooperate with third-party selling websites, like eBay, to prohibit the sale of used cable boxes on their websites. After the break, we will shift gears to how President Trump managed to make the U.S. Army capture Venezuelan President, Nicolas Maduro, by launching an invasion into the nation. We will also talk about which countries that Trump will make the U.S. Army invade next and his plans for potential annexation of the invaded countries into the jurisdiction of the United States. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.